everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So recently I got an email from one of my subscribers, Ria, who wanted to know more about the Cornell one-year tech MBA program. So I thought I'd jump on here and I'd make a video, sort of talking about the difference between the Cornell one-year MBA program versus the Cornell two-year MBA program. What are the pros and cons of each program? What does the tuition difference look like for both of the programs, and how you can apply to the Cornell one-year MBA program as opposed to the Cornell two-year MBA program, and what the application deadlines are. And if you're new to my channel and you're new to my videos, hi, my name is Ekta Kumar, and I'm a second-year MBA student at Cornell. I like to make videos to help students from all around the world break into their dream business school, and also sort of share my experiences throughout business school to help out people who were in the same position that I was in a few years ago. So before we get started, what exactly is the Cornell one-year MBA program? So the Cornell one-year MBA program is basically designed to fast-track your MBA program process. So instead of doing the typical two-year MBA program, which is stretched out over the full 2 years in the Ithaca campus, the Cornell one-year MBA program makes sure that you get your MBA as fast as possible over the course of 1 year. So instead of doing 60 credits in Ithaca over 2 years, you'll be doing the 60 credits in 1 year over at the NYC Tech campus at Cornell. So basically you'll be doing the MBA degree with the STEM designation, but instead of doing it in Ithaca, you will be on the Cornell Tech campus in New York City. So it's the same degree, whether you do it in Ithaca or whether you do it at the Cornell Tech campus, but you'll be doing it in 1 year on the Tech campus in New York instead of 2 years here in Ithaca. So the 2-year program, it's full-time. It's going to be the entire time you'll be spending it in Ithaca, whereas in the Cornell one-year Tech MBA program, it's a bit sped up. It's the same 60 credits, but it's over the course of 1 year completely in New York. Another part of the Cornell Tech program is that there's a huge emphasis on tech and innovation. I mean, come on, tech is in the name. But majority of the classes that you take in the Cornell Tech campus are mostly related to technology and innovation. So you could be taking classes on data analytics, introduction to Python for business, because those classes are mostly tech focused. But for the 2-year program, you could take a variety of different classes. Like I've taken classes on consumer behavior, communications. I know a lot of my classmates have taken classes on real estate investments and also finance as well. So there's a wide scope of classes that you can take over the 2 years as opposed to the 1-year program. But it's the same 60 credits either way. The Cornell Tech campus just tends to be more tech heavy and tech focused. Now in the Cornell one-year MBA Tech program, they want to make sure that you can actually apply your skills as quickly as possible. I mean, since the program is just so fast paced. So this program is great for anybody who wants to break into tech, whether it's project management or product management, or even start their own business and break into entrepreneurship as well. It's heavily focused on technology and innovation, and it's completely on the beautiful campus in Roosevelt Island in New York. Now let's jump into talking about the pros and the cons of the 1-year program versus the 2-year full-time program at Cornell. So starting off, since it's only for a year, you'll be back into the workforce a lot faster than you would be taking a complete break for the 2-year MBA program. Second of all, it's a lot cheaper than going for the 2-year MBA program because you're only paying 1 year of tuition and board and living expenses. And third, you'll be working, you'll be living in New York City, so you'll get the chance to actually network with people in the city, maybe network with a couple of startups and innovators if you're looking to start your own business, which is also really great because you'll be at the center rather than living in Ithaca, which is 4 hours away from the city. So now let's move on to the cons of the 1-year MBA program. So the first thing, since the program is so condensed, you actually won't get any internship experience. Now, when you're applying for a lot of full-time roles, there are a lot of companies that are interested in knowing if you have any internship experience, especially if you haven't worked in the US before. And that can be really crucial when you're applying for full-time roles because they would want to have somebody who already has experience working in the US rather than work experience outside of the US. So just be a bit mindful of that when you're applying to the 1-year MBA program. Whereas in the 2-year MBA program, it's a bit stretched out, so you actually get time to have an internship over the summer before you apply for a full-time role. Now, the second thing that I want to talk a little bit about is about the networking opportunities. So since the one-year MBA program is so condensed, you don't really get a lot of time to be able to network with your professors or alumni or different classmates, as opposed to the two-year MBA program, where you actually are able to develop deeper and closer relationships as opposed to the one-year MBA program. And finally, it is really, really intense because it's 60 credits and it's packed over the span of a year. You will constantly be studying and kind of being able to deal with that intense pressure. It can also be a lot, as opposed to all of those credits being spread out over 2 years. But at the end of the day, the choice is completely dependent on you and what works best for you. These are just the pros and cons that I've noticed for the one-year MBA program versus the two-year MBA program. Now, let's talk about the most important part of this video. Let's talk finances. Now, for the Cornell two-year MBA program, you'll be paying $77,054 per year. So that totals about to $154,108 for tuition fees alone. On top of that, you'll be talking about just like living expenses in Ithaca, which can be kind of expensive, versus like food and travel and treks if you want to take part in those things. And that can also add on to the living expenses as well. For the Cornell one-year MBA program, you will only be paying 1 year of tuition and living expenses in New York. So for the tuition for the Cornell one-year MBA program, you'll be paying $118,758 just in tuition. But you have to keep in mind that New York City can be really expensive, and the rent can be anywhere from $3,500 to $4,000 just for an apartment. So you have to make sure that when you're going to New York, make sure to either split it with roommates if you're coming in with a partner, or you can live on the Cornell Tech campus as well. But the fees for that is also quite expensive. Now let's talk about the most important part of this video. Let's talk finances. Let's compare the tuition and living costs for both the Cornell one-year MBA program and the Cornell two-year MBA program. So for the Cornell one-year MBA STEM program, the tuition cost is $118,758 for the full year. But you'll also need to make sure to budget for room and board. So the approximate living costs for New York City can be about $38,613. So that comes out to a total of about $157,371. That's just an approximate estimated cost. In terms of room and board, it can be cheaper or more expensive, depending on whether or not you have a roommate or you decide to live alone in New York. You can also stay in the New York Tech campus on Roosevelt Island, and most people stay inside the dorms, which can also help reduce those living costs as well. So for the Cornell two-year MBA program, the tuition fees can be considerably higher. So for the fall-spring term, the tuition fees are $83,106. Now, if you couple that with the room expenses and the room and board, just living in Ithaca, also just the treks that you might have to take, or if you're interested in joining any of the clubs, or other miscellaneous expenses that just come along with being a part of the MBA program, you could budget anywhere from about $20 to $50K. So that could bring up your total anywhere from $100 to $150K, and then doubling that, you would basically be paying a sticker price of $200K. So understandably, that can be very expensive to pay for the Cornell two-year MBA program as opposed to the one-year MBA program. So Cornell also offers scholarships and fellowships and also financial aid for those who need tuition assistance on the Cornell two-year MBA program. The great thing about the STEM MBA program is that it offers 36 months of practical OPT to your F1 visa. So for those of you who are international students who are coming to the US, it can be really good for you because you can work for up to 3 years in the US after graduation, as well as your F1 visa would still be eligible for 36 months because you have a STEM designation on your MBA degree. So finally, how can you apply for the one-year STEM MBA program? Now, the application process for the one-year STEM MBA program is the same as it is for the two-year MBA program. You'll need your resume, your letters of recommendation, your essays as well, and also your transcripts as well from your university. You also need some work experience. Normally about 3 to 5 years of work experience tends to be the norm for these kind of MBA programs, and the recommendation letters will help bolster your application as well. Now let's just talk about deadlines. So the application for the Cornell one-year MBA program are now open. For round one, the deadline is, or was, October 8th, 2024. For round two, the deadline is January 8th, 2025. And for round three, it's March 5th, 2025. Now, if you're watching this video, well in advance, this is for the most recent application cycle. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to follow the same dates, in years to come. But I would recommend applying for round one just because you have a better shot considering the competition and how competitive the applicants can get in round two and round three. And also, applicants that want to be considered for some merit scholarship should try to apply as quickly as possible. So they suggest apply for round one if you're looking for a merit scholarship. Also, international students, if you're applying for the one-year MBA program, do not apply later than round two because they need time for visa processing as well. So make sure to get your applications in as quickly as possible because that can give you the best shot in such a competitive pool. So finally, to sum up, the Cornell one-year MBA program is a great way to be able to fast-track your degree as quickly as possible. If you want to get into an MBA program where you can just get your MBA degree, finish off all of your credits, be able to live in New York, and also just get back into the workforce as quickly as possible, then a Cornell one-year MBA program is a great opportunity for you. And I definitely think that you should look into it. And that's all I can say for this video. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will try to answer them as fast as I can. As always, I love that you guys watch my videos. I love that you guys interact with me on LinkedIn or in person. It's always great getting to meet any of my subscribers in person. Thank you so much for watching this video and all of my other previous videos. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you have any ideas, please drop them in the comments below. And if you like this video and you like all of my other previous videos, please consider liking or subscribing to my channel. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.